Ronnie Kray, who was the head of the firm, was already diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic. And he's the one in charge. There's 250,000 people in Bethnal Green today, and half of them couldn't say the word crap. So it wouldn't matter. Yeah, no Romanian firm, no Albanian firm, no Indian firm, no Chinese firm, no Jamaican firm, no South London firm who are going to listen to two little cocksuckers who own a snooker or whatever in East London. That ain't going to work.
Talk to. There's a fantastic story about when you went to the court case dressed as a jester, and tell us about what happened on the day there.
Well, no, I can't say. I can lead up to the day.
Yeah. Oh, you said. Yep.
But the bottom line is this: if you're a professional criminal, you should have, and if you could have, you should grab it with both hands. A bank copper. Yeah. Everyone. If you're a professional villain, you should have a bank copper. Someone that tells you when you're being watched, what house the camera's in, what the registration numbers are, who's following you. I can open just the bag and then get damaged for contaminated evidence. A court case can't go on. All that. You get all that, right? Yeah. I had one. And after 20 years, I got caught with one. And when he got caught, and they was following him, not me. And when they filmed him and they got caught talking to Courtney, when they nicked him and went, "You're a bank copper, you're on Courtney's books." Yeah, he's had you for 25 years, 30 years. His defence was, "No, I'm paying him." Well, had that been believed, I'd have been shot. That was 20 odd years ago, by the way. I'm not sure of that, right? But had that been believed, I'd have been shot. And all the proof was I actually taped him when we had our meeting, only because I'm cleverer. Sorry, only because I'm cleverer. I actually taped him, right? Yeah. And went up there and had a little chat. He asked me to do something. I'd done that with him, taped it. We all got caught. He got caught. And his defence was, I was actually giving him information. When it was the other way around. Well, I proved it by giving him the tape. Yeah. But for a little 8 months, there was a little time while I was getting the alcohol, am I telling him or is he telling me? And because I was making it like I might be an informant, I felt so humiliated and hurt and angry about it. So I went, look, if you put me within arm's reach of that man, I'm going to punch him in the fucking head. You know what I mean? I can only get not guilty. I'll give you a tape of what he said. You're only making me go to court so you can call me a grass for 8 months. So that when it gets to the day of the court started, which is exactly what happened, the day the court started, he changed his plea to guilty. Right? But while he was going not guilty, they could go, Courtney's a grass, Courtney's a grass, Courtney's a grass, Courtney's a grass. And at the time they'd done that, I was actually running for Lord Mayor of London. Yeah, I was doing. I had a regular column in a monthly magazine. It was all Dave. I had a #1 bestseller. I was doing my 9th book. Yeah, I'm running for mayor. I've just got caught with a bank copper. I'm going to get not guilty. The coppers are going to go to prison. Courtney's going to write another book about the bank coppers. Yeah, and then all of a sudden I got mysteriously run over. Right, I got mysteriously run over by a car at 1 a.m. on the M4. Apparently, they've lost all of the police footage for that accident. They said that there was a police car, an unmarked police car, following me at the time that took 14 witness statements. But I'm afraid, because I was in a coma for 7 weeks, if Mr. Courtney doesn't understand an office environment, I'm afraid things get lost. That's what I had to swallow. Yeah? And there was no fucking video footage of the A2, the road that goes from Dover to London. They didn't have it that day. Right? They pinged me. Yeah, so I was in hospital for 9 months. I did actually, when I got not guilty for the crime, take the police to court for attempted murder, saying that about me, and that's when they run me over. So I have got all the paraphernalia to prove that I took the police to court for saying it. No, that's attempted murder. What if what you were saying about me, which has now been proved in the Old Bailey, is not true? If what you've been saying about me is not true, that could have got me shot. So that's fucking attempted murder, mate. Yeah?
Yeah.
Hear me,
And then looking, obviously, we're a few years down the line from that now, looking at your track record, 23 court cases that you've got the not guilty of.
I'm sure they weren't happy about it.
If you were helping their side, you'd have thought they'd treat you a little bit better than that and trying to put you in jail every 5 minutes,
Listen, they have fucked me, right? They have nicked me on the day I was going on holiday, so I can't go on holiday. I've been on a driving ban for 13 years. Yeah. Every single year I send off my medical to go and get my licence back. They go, no, you've got alcohol in your blood. You go, and I can't go, I haven't drunk for 9 months. I haven't took a drug. I haven't. Because who do you know that goes no? It's just a thing on the thing that says no. You don't know who it was. You just get 13 years they've not given my license. I get a yearly passport. Yearly. I have to pay £89 a year for my 1 year passport. So for that year, the last 6 months, I can't use because there's some places you can't go if you've only got 6 months left.
What?
Yeah.
Crazy. I've never heard anything like
Right. And you pay fucking dearly for getting away with your crime, right? You might have got not guilty, but only on the day. In their head, they've got you. 29 not guilty, do you think they're going, Dave got to, or do you think they're going to hold that?
Yeah,
Well, if West Ham beat fucking Charlton 29 times in a row, do you think Charlton are ever going to like you?
It sounds like they're certainly holding a grudge with you.
Well, listen, I'm paying fucking dearly now, sir, for my getting away with it then. Because they've just clamped down red tape.
Red tape, right?
Doing everything. You know what I mean? They've stopped me owning a pub, doing the show in a pub. They go to the owner, don't have Courtney here and his cronies, or you won't have a licence for a fucking telly, mate. Now fuck him off. And they go, Dave, we'll cancel it. And they've stopped me going on the telly. They've made it now a legal law. You can't glamorise crime. So Virgin can publish my book, but they can't put a poster up going, Dave's got a new book out, because the poster's glamorising crime. Is that right? I can't go to the telly no more. I can't do the radio. Every journalist, for a photographer and a journalist, this house spews it. Look at me. Bleh. I'll give you a fucking story. And for a photographer, look at the house. But they're not allowed to take pictures because you can't glamorise crime.
It's outrageous. But luckily at the moment it's transitioned, hasn't it, to obviously the online is the main sort of media these days.
Yeah. Luckily for you, as you know what buttons to push. But for a silly old fucker like me, I don't understand all that. So, and I know this is
indeed
the way forward,
absolutely.
And I'm trying.
Good.
I'm trying.
Well, much appreciated. So there's impossible to go not talk about how you came to prominence as such with the Krays funeral.
Listen,
talk to me how you got that gig. Obviously, we know you had a big door firm, but how did you get that position?
I'm the biggest door firm. Yeah, the biggest door firm in London. There was no one for me to have a fight with because there wasn't anyone else to fight with. It was on my side, right? And but that was a different era before CCTV cameras and you can get away with fucking murder behind the biggest. And I got in touch with them because I was seeing a lady at the time who had an identical twin, a black lady who I ended up marrying and have children with, Jennifer. And so they made a song called They Took the Rap. And they were rappers and they'd done a set of twins, done a song about a set of twins. They took the rap. They wanted to see me anyway. They'd asked to actually see me about a year before because I was doing all the doors up there and they wanted some help with some things. So because of that, I went down to see Ronnie in Broadmoor. We became good friends. I then went to meet Reggie. We became even better friends because it was closer and blah, blah, blah. So I was more or less down there once a week for 10 years or 15 years. You know, I got to know the local newspaper man. He used to wait for me when I came out of Maidstone. Mr. Edmondson, and he used to wait for me when I came out of Maidstone. He was writing for the Maidstone Gazette or something, you know, whatever. And he used to write all the stories about what the Krays said to me. And then Ronnie died. There was a threat to the actual funeral parlour about not everyone's a Ronnie fan. We're going to come down and burn it down while he's in there. They got in touch with Reg. Reg got in touch with me and said, would I sleep in the funeral parlour for a couple of weeks? I went, yeah, cool, man. You know, so I'm in there and trying to find a couple of mates to sleep in a funeral parlour with you, with Ronnie Krays, one of the dead bodies. That's hard work, right? Trying to find someone to come and help you fight. If I wanted to go and shoot him, they'd queue up at my door, drive me there. But to sleep in the dead body shop was like, wow. But I did. And it was during that week that they realised the velocity of what was actually going to occur with the Krays funeral and the worldwide media attention it was going to bring. And then they went, look, we need security for this. They didn't know it straight away. It's the first funeral that anyone's ever needed 150, 200 of England's hardest men to do a fucking security, right? Hear me? And they're not ever going to allow it to happen again because that was a little show of force on worldwide TV, and the TV ain't going to fucking give you or me that no more, right? You ain't never going to get that. You know what I mean?
This is absolutely awesome, wasn't it?
Stop it.
So talk to me about...
Oh dear, I've just come.
Get some tissues.
Yes, it was awesome.
What were the twins like?
They
there's crackers is what they're made out to be, or
Yeah,
they
yeah,
quite
yeah,
say
they
they
both
were?
fucked up. Listen, Ronnie Kray, who was the head of the firm, was already diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic, and he's the one in charge. So it can only go downhill, can't it? You know what I mean? In reality, it can only go downhill. Yeah, he's as nutty as you want, and Reggie was just, you know, like twins. You get a strong one and a not weaker, just you get a stronger one,
Yeah.
and a not a stronger one. You understand what I mean? And Ronnie was the stronger one. Yeah, Ronnie was gay. I mean, if you say I'm gay and want to take the piss out of me, I'll shoot you in the forehead. Reggie was gay, married someone, didn't shag her, tried to hide it, didn't shag her for a fucking year, so she killed herself. Right? End of. .com, that's the bottom line of it. You can put a bit of a romance around it if you want. They weren't the hardest people in the fucking world. Yeah, they wouldn't run today. Yeah, they wouldn't run today. There was 15,000 people in Bethnal Green when they were doing it, and everyone spoke and understood English. There's 250,000 people in Bethnal Green today, and half of them couldn't say the word cracked. Right? So it wouldn't matter. Yeah, no Romanian firm, no Albanian firm, no Indian firm, no Chinese firm, no Jamaican firm, no South London firm are going to listen to two little cocksuckers who own a snooker or whatever in East London. It ain't going to work today. But it was romantic then, you know what I mean? So all hail to them. If it weren't for them, people that was on the wrong side of the law couldn't make a living out of their criminal past. And for a little 10-year stretch, we all could. But it's now stopped. Right? Hear me. They have cut that jugular vein. No one there can. But for a little while, they made it possible for me to sell Dave Courtney. And in reality, genuine naughty people ain't in the corner talking about devil. We're all quite normal and funny, yeah? So being able to give the same crack of the whip as everyone else in a film game or the music game or the chat show game, I'm as good as any, if not better than most. Right? But they daren't fucking do that because, you know, all them times I've asked me to be on Big Brother and the jungle thing, all them times I've asked me, and then there's someone at the top went, well, you can't put Courtney in there because if they don't get him a meal, he might lose it and attack someone. I was like, really? Listen, stop. I'll eat a kangaroo bollock. I'll do the thing.